Good morning, and welcome to another episode of the Florida Rum Explorer. I'm Brian, and today I'm going to talk to you about spiced rum, specifically where they're from, what exactly makes a spiced rum, how is it defined. Then a little bit later on, we'll make some spiced rum. We'll make our own spiced rum, a nice recipe that I think you'll enjoy. And then finally, we'll sample that rum when it's done being made. And I think that it's a nice, light, bright spiced rum. But before we get started, make sure you hit like and subscribe if you like this kind of content, and you'll get notification when new episodes drop. Hopefully every 2 weeks. That's my goal, is to make a new episode every 2 weeks. So with that, let's go and get started. So spiced rum, what exactly is it? Well, it depends. If you're in the United States, there's one definition. In Europe, there's a different definition, and of course the Caribbean nations all have their own definitions as well. Exactly what makes a spiced rum, and it really goes into alcohol content, what type of flavorings are in there, the sugar content. For instance, in the United States, it's a pretty loose category. Same with the Caribbean, but the European Union is interesting. They have some pretty strict limits on what can be called spiced rum. Actually, what can be called a rum in general. In fact, they don't consider spiced rum rum at all. And the reason is because the European regulations don't allow you to add any flavorings to rum other than the natural aging process in barrels. And also, they have a very strict limit of the amount of sugar that can be in a bottle of rum. I believe it's 20 grams. And most commercial bottles of spiced rum far exceed that. So in Europe, you can't buy spiced rum. You can basically buy what they call a rum-based spirit, or a flavored rum-based spirit. For my intents and purposes, I like to define a spiced rum as being any rum that's got a blend of spices in it, more than one spice. And that's to distinguish it from being a flavored rum, which might be like, just have orange in there, or vanilla, or one note. Also, if you think about the origin of spiced rum, where did it come from? Well, spiced rum is about as old as rum itself. People were adding flavors to rum to help make it more palatable. Hundreds of years ago, long before the age of good sanitation practices, good production practices, I'm sure the rums that were being made were pretty rough. So people would add flavors to it to improve the drinkability of it and the flavor. And that's kind of where it came from. But the most amazing thing, and this is really kind of blew my mind, is that spiced rum, at least here in the United States, wasn't a distinct subcategory until 1984. And that's when the Captain Morgan Company began marketing their original spiced rum in the United States. So again, I can't believe it's only 30 some odd years old here in the U.S. that spiced rum is even a thing. I personally love spiced rum. There's a lot of different ones out there, and a lot of different flavors, a lot of different blends out there. Some are better than others, and I enjoy drinking them. So let's make a spiced rum. It's very simple to do. You need very few ingredients and very little equipment. This is a recipe I found a few years ago. I've made it a couple of times. I really enjoy it. It's got strong citrus notes, strong ginger notes to it, and it goes really well. It's pretty light, and you can experiment with it. You can add different amounts of the spices to it. But one thing I do recommend is you go very careful on the ginger. Ginger is potent stuff. A little goes a long way. I have tried making it with a lot of ginger, and it was undrinkable after I was done with it. But to start off with, though, we're going to take, I don't know if you can see this, but in here I have 4 allspice berries, 4 pieces of 4 cloves, and some freshly ground, a quarter teaspoon of freshly ground nutmeg. So you're just going to add it in there. Pretty simple. You're going to take 1 cinnamon stick, drop it in there. 1 piece of orange peel. This is maybe 4 inches long. Try to not get too much of the pith on the back side of it. Drop it in there. A peeled piece of fresh ginger. This is about a ½ inch piece. Again, be very careful with the ginger. A little goes a long way. Drop it in there. And then the recipe calls for a fresh vanilla bean. But last time I checked, vanilla beans were over $10 a single bean. That seems a little crazy for me. So I'm just going to use a teaspoon of good quality vanilla extract in there. Maybe a little more. I like vanilla. And then you finally just take your rum. This is a simple 80 proof clear rum, nothing special. Again, maybe $20 at the local liquor store. I apologize about the cars driving around. Apparently, as soon as I started filming this, everybody started working on their lawns. Cap it off, shake it up, and that's it. All you're going to do at this point is take the rum, set it aside in a cool, dark place in your house for 3 to 5 days. I wouldn't go any farther than the 5 days. Again, I've experimented with it. I've taken up to 7 days, and the longer it sits in there, the more that ginger flavor gets in there, and the more potent it is. So I typically go between 3 and 5 days. 3 if you just want a nice flavor of the ginger, of the citrus. 5 if you want a little more bold. But again, I won't go any farther than that. So I'm going to let this sit aside for 5 days. And when we come back, I will show you how to filter it. And then we'll enjoy drinking some of it and try it in different ways. All right? See you in 5 days. Okay, we're back. It's 5 days later. And as you can see, it looks a little different. It's got a nice yellow tint to it. That is from the cinnamon and the citrus in there. And the way you filter this, beyond easy. We're just going to open it up. I'm going to take a conical strainer here. You're going to want to use a pourable glass here with a little lip there, so that you make pouring it back into the bottle easier in a few seconds. And we're just going to pour in there. There may be some spillage. That's not a problem. And there you see, all of our particulates are out. Don't need that anymore. Set that aside. And it may be a little cloudy, but that's okay. If you want it a little cleaner than that, because don't forget there's ground nutmeg in there, and that's still floating around. Doesn't hurt anything. But what you can do is when you go to filter into the bottle, what I do is I take the bottle, I take a funnel, and I put a coffee filter in there. And I slowly pour it into the bottle through the coffee filter, and that gives you a nice, clean product. So this is where the lip on the pourable container comes in. If you try doing this precision pour out of a mason jar like that, you're going to make a mess. It's going to go all over the place. So we're just pouring it in there. Should fill the bottle perfectly because we used this bottle originally. And there we go. So we now have a bottle of homemade spiced rum. And guess what we're going to do now? This is the part where we try it out. So let me clean this mess up, reset, and we'll be right back. All right, so we're ready to sample it. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have a simple one, a little bit, just not much, served neat so I can actually sample the flavors. Just a little bit. Again, I told you last time I filmed this at 10 o'clock in the morning. So that is very, very strong citrus aroma. I'm definitely getting the ginger, strong ginger flavor, ginger forward. Very good. The ginger is strong, very strong. In fact, I probably could have pulled back on this one 3 days. All right, only let it sit for 3 days. This is 5 days. It's a little strong, and but it's good. It's very good. I think it would be better though if we have it on the rocks. I already have a glass here. What I'm going to do is, it's very dry with that ginger in there and that citrus, so I'm going to add a bit of sugar to it. This is simple syrup. Put about a teaspoon in there. I don't know if you know, but simple syrup, you should never buy it in the store. All simple syrup is just, equal parts sugar, equal parts water. You bring it to a boil in a pot, let it cool, pour it into a container, and you got simple syrup. It's no reason to buy it in the store. We're going to do 1.5 ounces of our spiced rum. In there. Where is my swizzle stick? We'll use this one. Oh yeah, much better with the sugar in there. But that, is to my taste. If you like it dry, you like it dry. But that's very good with the sugar. On the rocks, I mean, this is delightful sitting out here by the pool on a hot summer's day in Florida drinking this. This will make you very happy. Not bad. But I think we can do one better. So let's take another glass with ice. We're going to add about a teaspoon of simple syrup again. Oop, top's about to fall off. There you go. Again, an ounce and a half of our rum. Pop it in there. Then we are going to take about 2 ounces. Can't get that open. 2 ounces of pineapple juice. That's really 1.5 of these. Well, we'll do 1.5 ounces. And then we're going to top it off, fill the glass the rest away with club soda. So this should brighten it up, make it very light, almost like a fizzy lemonade. But in this case, it's going to be obviously ginger, orange, pineapple. Smells wonderful. Oh, that's very good. Excuse me. That's very good. I guarantee you, if you try this and you sit by the pool and you have one of these, you'll have a very good day getting a suntan in Florida. So that's it. That's our spiced rum episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to finish drinking this and then clean up. And remember, if you like this kind of content, please click like and subscribe. And I'm going to try to post a new episode every 2 weeks. So that's my goal. So until next time, fair winds and following seas, my friends.